Whoa, this is not a test, man. This is real. Welcome back to Fizz Kane's Verbal One, and I'm your host, Big Verb, aka Scale_Nation, man. CL Verbal Warning on Twitter and CL Verbal Warning on Instagram. I want to thank you, man. If you're someone that's been subscribed to this YouTube channel for a long time, I want to appreciate you, man. And everybody that's been hitting me up asking me, where have you been, man? What's been going on? Of course, life has been lifing, man, but I'm happy, I'm blessed, and I'm here. We're back talking about the Miami Dolphins. We're back talking about the Miami Hurricanes. These episodes will be concurrent, man. We will not stop. We will continue to make these videos at this point, man. We're getting everything back functional. We're going in speaking specifically about the Dolphins on this episode of Fizz Kane's Verbal One, and then we're going to talk about where the Dolphins are up until this point. We're going to go briefly into the big news, which is Jalen Waddle's new contract, the extension, which will make him, $75 million guaranteed richer upon the next 5 years, with the details of the contract being as so. Jalen Waddle, a high draft pick that the Dolphins selected from the University of Alabama. I have mixed feelings about him. A lot of people are excited about this signing. I'm excited about the fact that the Dolphins actually have a real strong wide receiver core. So I'm going straight in about my perspective on the contract. See, this is a great move by Chris Greer in a lot of different ways. If you're a fan of Jalen Waddle, then you are very, very happy that he's going to be a Dolphin for the next couple years, so it says in paper. Me personally, I'm happy with the core. Like I said, with Tyreek, I'm happy with OBJ, and I'm happy with Waddle. My thing is with the Waddle signing. Now, this is my perspective on Waddle, and we're going to talk about Christian Wilkins, and we're going to talk about the Robert Hunt. We're going to talk about the Brandon Jones. We're going to talk about all those things in this episode. Going straight into the Jalen Waddle situation as far as his contract, I personally believe that when we drafted Waddle, he would be more durable. A lot of people are saying that his durability isn't a thing. Now, me looking at the entirety of his play, I personally feel that he has not been durable enough for me. Now, the contract, I'm not going to say that football isn't a physical sport. It's very physical. I would know. I'm saying I wanted him to be more of a threat on multiple phases of the game. Tyreek has shown you when you come in as an underdog and you're not drafted super high and you're not expecting much. You're just really getting it out of the mud, as they say. You do more, you give more. I don't think that Waddle came in with that mentality. I think Waddles came in with the attitude, or as the responsibility, as they say, as a guy that's been mainly given the keys to the franchise as a receiver. I would think that after bringing in Tyreek and his job being so much easier, so much less being on his plate, that he would try to contribute in punt return or kick return and things like that. But as a fan, we sit back and we watch and see that they're very gentle with his play. They're very gentle with his play. I think that being him taking on the second receiver role, I would have expected him to do more on the special team side of things. I would have expected him to do more, to want the ball in his hand more, to show that he's that alpha dog, not just to go through the motions and get his contract. I personally feel like now he's just been going through the motions and getting his contract. I thought that he should have been more active as far as wanting the ball. I felt like he should have been more vocal about wanting the ball. I think that he knew that his contract was promised to him, and all he had to do was just be there. I think missing games every year, which he has, he's missed games almost every year, says a lot that he's always getting 1,000 yards. But I also believe that in his rookie season, he was all we had. He knew he was drafted high, and he received what was given to him. I think that with this offense and with Tyreek, with McDaniel and this offense with Tyreek, I believe that things have been a lot more open for him. I believe that he wouldn't be as open if it wasn't for Tyreek, or if it wasn't for the design of his offense. I do believe that he should be more active. I don't think that they should have to pay Braxton Berrios if they have two guys that have had such dynamic special teams plays in college and in their football careers. I do not think Braxton Berrios is necessary. Now he's here. He knows the offense backwards and forward. That gives him automatically another stop. You get what I'm saying? So what that does is if the Dolphins decide, hey, we're going to go what we got. We got these young rookies, the Washington boys, Malik and Taj, and I'm gonna do some episodes also on the young guys and what is expected and how great of a noise or a great of a showing that they're giving in OTAs. We're going to talk about that as well in future episodes, but I believe that Jalen Waddle should contribute more. I believe that he should do more on the punt return, on the kick return side of things. I think he should at least be in the running for making the Pro Bowl for those type of things. I think getting 1,000 yards, I believe that anybody would get 1,000 yards next to Tyreek in this offense. And along with Tua. I believe Tua is competent enough. I believe that his offense is explosive enough for whomever's next to Tyreek to get 1,000 yards. I personally said on Finch Tones, at Finch Tones on Instagram, if you go check it out, I told the guys, I said he's not durable enough for me to give him a contract now. I personally, if I was Chris Greer and in his shoes, I would have made him wait it out. I do not believe that he's durable enough. But again, what players are. So I believe guys really just, they're given 80%, and then you got to get the rest of it off cheap labor, and then at the end of the day they have done enough for their paycheck. So him being drafted that high guaranteed him this beautiful contract that he deserved. But I just personally, as a Dolphin fan, would have liked to see him demand the opportunity to make plays. He's made some drops, but again, like everyone says, who hasn't dropped passes in the NFL or in big playoff games? But I just personally feel as a Dolphin fan, because of the lack of physicality that this offense and this defense has, is really based on speed and based off route running and based off explosive plays. You can't afford drop passes. You can't afford your Isaac Keems not to return the punt. You got your Isaac Bruces. You got your three receivers that are out there making explosive plays, and now you got your Marshall Faulks, which will probably be his that workload will be between splitting out between the back. So you got those already in hand. So you need your Isaac Keems and you need your guys that constantly get the ball and that constantly score to want to continue to contribute on all phases of the game. Braxton Berrios is not going to ever be a threat returning punts. Dolphin fans can say what they want. Waddle returned punts and kicks when he was a rookie. Braxton Berrios being back there will never be a threat. No one's ever going to be afraid of Braxton Berrios. And I'm a Fins fan. I know the heart of a Kane. I'm a Kane fan. I know that Braxton Berrios is a real football player, but he's not an explosive punt runner. He's not. He's never going to be explosive in the punting game. He's never going to be super fast. He's never going to give you 2-3 touchdowns in a season at punt return. He's not. So I think that Waddle and Tyreek need to take on those responsibilities and to jump in the mix. And I hope that this year they contribute more on special teams. We did take a couple big plays. We did lose on those special teams phases in a few games. I would like to see us get the advantage with those explosive receivers that we have. Hopefully the Washington boys come in and their hunger allows them to come out and take those type of plays, because Braxton Berrios isn't a contributor in offense either. He's not a contributor. The things that he does, you can get those from Craycraft. You can get those from a practice squad guy. He's not a contributor on offense. He's not a contributor on offense. He's durable in the punt return game, but he's not a threat. He's not explosive. So I think that's a waste of a position there. I think Ezekama can give us a little bit more in the jet sweep and the end around game, or in the run game on offense. I think that Braxton would not give us much there either. So I think that Ezekama is a better player. I think that his responsibilities on punt return and kick return, that Tyreek can take over those opportunities, or Waddle should be willing in running on the field like a hurricane, like a Florida football player would run on the field and take those opportunities and be demanding in those opportunities and speak up for those opportunities, because he knows that will change the dynamic of the game. All in all, I'm very happy with the moves that they made on offense. I love the running back that they went and got. You got to be aggressive with these guys because the running backs aren't playing the 17 weeks. They're not. They're not playing the 18 weeks. They're not going to play all those games. And in the playoffs and in the playoffs and in the cold weather, that's been the Dolphins' Achilles heel. They haven't been able to run the ball or push teams or really dominate the ball. So I love what they did on offense. I think Wright and I think the Washington boys was a big pickup. I also love Sanu. I think Sanu, being a physical runner, also being a threat and being as fast as he is and being as strong as he is, will help and open up a few things up the middle because besides the fact that Tua is not really his strength isn't really throwing it on the outside, the out routes, the up and outs, the comebacks. That's not really his game. He needs to develop that game if he wants to be, if he's gonna help the Dolphins get where they're trying to go, which is the Super Bowl. He has to develop more diversity. That's why they lost the Tennessee game. He has too many disabilities on in his passing game. So if they can work those wrinkles out, I do think that this offense can go further and win more playoff games. Covering what they did on offense as far as the tackle that they drafted. I love the guy out of Houston. He's a big kid. I really do feel like he's going to contribute in the future. Will it be year 2? I don't know. I do know he'll have to start a game or 2. Our left tackle situation is very fragile. I do think he has the physical attributes, and I do think that he'll get the right coaching and the right mentoring, and it'll get him prepared. But will he be dominant? We'll see. You can't speak on him until he gets his opportunity, until he plays his hand. Also, I like Brewer. I think Brewer's going to be great for the run game. The Dolphins do need linemen that can get down the field and block. I think his agility will be a contribution. And like I said, if they can't run the ball, the Dolphins Super Bowl, it won't happen. You're not going to win the ball with Tua throwing the ball 35 times. You're not going to win it. If he throws the ball 35 times, that means you've been behind the whole game. Tua's not going to make the right decision enough to win a Super Bowl. He's not. And a lot of people aren't talking about the fact that Tua does not have the savvy mentally. He doesn't. If you look at the game, he doesn't adjust plays, and that's because I'm sure they've tried to get him to have that ability, but he has not been able to look competent in practice. He hasn't been able to change plays. He hasn't been able to pick off players and call out coverages and pick on corners. He doesn't have that ability. Tua does not look around and say, I'm picking on that guy today. It's like whoever Tyreek's on, he know Tyreek's going to beat him once or twice, or Tyreek's going to beat him at a high percentage, so that's how we win games. But Tyreek hasn't done that in the playoffs. And later in the season, he's been so banged up because Tua can't pick on a corner with anybody. That's when you pay guys. And that's my take on that. I'll probably do an episode on that as well about what I think Tua needs to become a top-tier quarterback. My personal perspective here on CL Verbal Warning. We just wanted to get into the Jalen Waddle signing. Big shout out to all the podcasters out there that's giving all this information about the Miami Dolphins. Big shout out to TD Finch Talk. Big shout out to my fellow Kansas City guy, Omar Kelly, man. Big shout out to all the other podcasters out there, especially Doogie, and also, Mr. Chris Perkins. Big shout out to all those guys representing all those newspapers and all those websites, man. I'm just a guy from the comment section. Thank you guys for checking it out, man. And always stay peaced.